I'm here. I'm here to entertain you. That's the privilege of my job. I love it.
Top Gun was a sensational hit when it was released, and this year, people are still reminiscing about the old Top Gun. To the joy of all Top Gun fans worldwide, Top Gun returns to the big screens with its new sequel, Top Gun Maverick. Is it any good like the original one? Is there the spark that made us fall in love with the first movie in the first place? Join us as we uncover all we know about the Top Gun movie and give you a quick recap on the old one, about the Top Gun movie, and give you a quick recap on the original Top Gun. Top Gun was released back in 1986, and with this new sequel coming out shortly, we're looking at a 36-year difference between these two movies. The original movie received a lot of acclaim and promoted a fun Navy lifestyle that many people at that time got into thanks to the movie. This movie was all the rave back when it was released. From Tom Cruise's iconic Ray-Ban aviator sunglasses to the iconic bomber jackets, fans loved most for those harrowing dogfights and training exercises and the bromance between Maverick and Goose. The original movie starts with our main characters, Maverick and Goose, being sent to Top Gun Training Academy after facing enemy fighter jets. Here they meet Iceman, another one of the trainees who are not a fan of Maverick. The story gets more and more intense, making us all sit on the edge of our seats, wondering what happens next. With Top Gun Maverick, this is precisely what the fans expect, and just from the trailers, it looks like just what we want. This sequel is set 30 years after the original movie's events, and now Captain Maverick returns to the big screen after turning down an opportunity to be promoted. He becomes an instructor for Top Gun Academy, taking a new squad under his wings to train and make them the best of the best. Spoiler alert, tensions run high. However, as one of the new squad members nicknamed Rooster is the son of the deceased Goose, who was the radar man and spotter for Maverick in the first movie, and he died in the original when Maverick flies into a jet wash or turbulence created by the jet in front of which was flown was Iceman, and both Maverick and Goose were forced to eject. But Goose hits the top of the roof panel as he ejects and is killed, and Rooster blames Maverick for his father's death, and a fight breaks out. 30 years after the original movie's events, things have changed. Things Maverick knew were a thing of the past, and now he must keep up with even faster jets, more trigger-happy squad members, and even more powerful enemy forces. One of the most iconic movie lines from the original movie was,
"I feel the need for speed."
Let's say there were lots of speedy action sequences in the first movie, and just by seeing the trailer, we can see that there is no lack of speed in this new movie. Let's talk about the speed element in the movie. That's right, we're talking about the jets involved in Top Gun Maverick, and we have a star-studded list of super fast and very maneuverable jets. Aviation enthusiasts will be delighted to know that the flight scenes are all shot on 6K video features to deliver a one-of-a-kind mesmerizing show to us all. The main star of the show is the Boeing Super Hornets, and this is a training for the Navy where the Super Hornets are primarily used. This, on the one hand, also shows the dedication of the people involved in the movie. They wanted to capture the realism and make it more believable to the viewers, since this is exactly what they achieved with the first movie. There was another reason why they used the Super Hornets, and it's because they can see two people in the cockpit, which was the main point of the relationships for the pilots in the first movie. We also see the most advanced fighter jet, the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, or most commonly known as the F-35, making a brief appearance in the movie. However, when Maverick requested this amazing equipment, they were not available to be seen anywhere in the movie. This is because the F-35 can only seat one pilot, unlike the Super Hornet which can seat two, or the legendary F-14 we see in the original movie. They were unavailable because the production team wanted as much realism as possible, which meant putting the actors in real jets while they were on the flight. It is possible with the Super Hornet since they can put the actors in one shot in the plane with an actual pilot flying the cockpit. However, with the F-35, it can only seat one, and shooting flying sequences can not only result in the actors being gravely endangered or killed, but it also means that the military loses an $80 million jet, which I'm sure no one was ready for to pay to shoot a movie. The enemy, even though they're not shown from which country they're from, uses the Russian-made Sukhoi Su-57 Felon, a fitting rival for Maverick and his new crew. The Su-57 is faster and more maneuverable than the Super Hornets seen as the star, and this makes for a lot of engaging dogfights as the pilot's skill is what keeps them alive. However, spoiler alert again, one of the Super Hornets is shot down by the Su-57, creating more tension between these rivals. However, the movie does not show who the real enemy is. Instead, we only see their jets and anti-air missiles. In our era, when there is already a war brewing in many countries, it seems appropriate that the nationality or the state of the enemy is not shown. and the Su-57 is also used by many of the US allies such as Poland and Ukraine. An extraordinary kind of jet is shown in this movie, taking homage to the SR-72. This jet is nicknamed the Dark Star and is shown to be capable of reaching up to Mach 10 speeds. This was a nod to the SR-72, which could travel between London to New York in just under 2 hours, which is mind-blowing even under today's standard. This brings us to another key theme of the movie, or let's say, the movie's main plot of the movie. The question of what is better, manpower or artificial intelligence. In the movie, Tom Cruise takes flight in the Dark Star to reach the unachievable speed of Mach 10 or 7,000 miles per hour. Maverick, who has now dedicated his life to training new squad members, is currently under pressure as his higher-ups want to take the funds provided for his training program and commit them to buy unmanned drones. As a last-ditch attempt to prove that manpower is still superior to any unmanned technology in place, Maverick takes off in the Dark Star to achieve Mach 10 speeds and is blinded by his need to prove something. He pushes the Dark Star a bit too much and ends up destroying the Dark Star, after which the program is scrapped, and Maverick goes to train the new squad. A fitting start to the latest Top Gun movie. However, it should be mentioned that the prototype used in the movie was so realistic. So much research was put into this that even China thought this was an actual plane devised by the military during this movie's production. The notion of technology overthrowing human capabilities is a huge point in the show, as we see the real star of the original movie, the F-14 Tomcat fighter jet. In the movie, we see it as a monument on one of the military bases. It was retired 14 years earlier due to technological advancements. The same is said for Maverick, as his superiors think he's a relic of the past that needs to be dismantled. This is his last chance to prove to the higher-ups how important it is to hone every pilot's skill so that they will one day not be forgotten. Top Gun Maverick not only gives us the adrenaline rush we ask for, but also focuses on the current problems and what we can look for in the future. This is generally a fitting sequel to the original Top Gun.